Welcome, friends. Today we are doing a nightmare live stream. Jesus Christ. What a fucking day. How are we? Are you okay? I've been better. Whew. Oh, Christ. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Much needed. Oh dear. What's happening, people? Are you okay? How are we? If you haven't seen today's video, I would recommend watching it before this stream so that you get some context from it. Because we will be discussing Uncut Gem this evening. Oh dear. Just give us a minute while I feng shui my brain. I'm still getting comments on that video. Massive engagement on that video. Bloody hell. How many comments? I'll tell you in a second. Oops, sorry, that's a Ramsey video. Sorry, mate. I've been watching Ramsey's video because, of course, I have. He did one on the new Amouage. So, sorry, including my replies, there are 126 comments on that video today. Only 57 likes, though. Well, I say only 57. That's a lot of likes. People saying it's the best review they've ever seen. I'm sure there are many people who feel differently. If you haven't smelled Uncut Gem, don't. No, do. Smell it. But bloody hell, I smelled it today. I wouldn't have believed you if you'd told us it smelled like that. I'm absolutely raging, and I'm gutted as well. You know, people when they say like, oh, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. It's like, no, I am both angry and disappointed. How the fuck could he possibly think it was a good idea to drop that fragrance? Have you heard the story behind it? Apparently met up with Maurice Roussel one day. Frederick Mall, that is. He met up with Maurice Roussel and said, Maurice Roussel, what's that fragrance you're wearing? It's very nice. Maurice Roussel said, oh, it's just this thing I made. And Frederick Mall said, brilliant. We'll release that next. Sell it to me. So Frederick Mall has bought a perfume off the shelf and released it. Absolutely abhorrent fragrance. So un-Frederick Malle-like that the mind reels. It's like he's betrayed his own, I don't want to say gimmick, but his own sort of, I don't want to say creed either, Jesus Christ. He sold himself short. He sold himself out. He's hurt himself. It's really bad. It smells, seriously, it smells like Nautica Voyage with ambroxan and amberwood. I had a very interesting exchange with a guy in the comments. Forgive us, I can't remember his name right now, but he said he didn't think it was the ambroxan. He thought it was the amberwood. And I have to admit, he's definitely got a point. I fucking hate amberwoods. They're fucking rotten. There's nothing that you can put amberwood in and make it better. Nothing. It improves nothing. It's absolutely vulgar. It's overpowering. It destroys any composition that it's in. And the only reason I can think that they keep using it, right, is that the perfumers must make a fortune on the oils when they sell it. Because that's where they get their commission from. They get a commission on the oils they use. Amberwoods have only been around recently, 10 years, 15 years maybe. Julien Rasquinet, one of my favorite recent perfumers, absolutely batters it. Uses it in all sorts of stuff. The Moon. I don't like the Moon now. I've bought the Moon. I don't like it. Never realized how massive the amberwoods are, and they've ruined it. They've ruined the fragrance for us. You know, I'm going to try with it this year, but I'm probably going to sell it just because I can't deal with it. Fucking awful. You know, rotten. But right, I'm going to go and check the chat. I will see what you're saying. Bariatrion, Uncut Gem will be pulled by the cap. It should be fired into the sun. Frederick Mould, says Bob. Hello, Michael Harness. Hello, A to Z. Hello, Pradeep. Hello, Bry. So Uncut Gem is groundbreaking, apparently. Yeah, but so are sinkholes. You know? They break ground. So are graves. Graves break ground as well. Jesus. Burke Erkoch. Greetings to you. Audrey Jane. Audrey Jane is hither. Welcome, Audrey Jane. How are you? Bagley. Hello, everyone. First time on Rich Mitch's live. Zhao Lima recommended your channel. Oh, thank you. Zhao's lovely, isn't he? A lovely bloke. Pradeep says, hello, Audrey. Peter Kokoran says, I can't believe you're doing this now while I'm working. Sorry, Peter. I was meant to take poison last night, but I couldn't because I accidentally took another medication which you can't take at the same time. So I've taken poison tonight, and I must do this now until like the poison starts to like get into my system at like 10, half 10, and then I'll have to go then because I'll start feeling like shit. But sorry, yes, don't worry, the video will stay up. I stand by every single syllable of what I said. Pradeep says, come on, spit that lava and sneeze the fire. Stephen Theno says, you're the new original formula, Eugene. There's only one Eugene. I am my own release. I'm the original Formula Duck. Yeah, buddy. How you doing, Frank? Spaced Out says, I just tried Santal Rosa, pickles and roses. What the fuck is going on at Girl On? Apparently, they are headed to like oblivion as well. They've just decided that they don't care about perfume anymore. They just want to make smells. Louis Vuitton and Estee Lauder have a lot to answer for as far as oversight of these brands. You know? Madness. Hello, Adam D. How are you? Phil Stevens says, my bell is broken, and I think you may have broken the internet as well. Viral status style. I don't know. If people want to watch and people want to listen, they can. There's like... That's just, it's out there now. But like I say, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to stand by everything I said. Like I said, the guy in the comments who was like, he thought it was more amberwood than ambrox, and he's got a point, but I can definitely smell Sauvage in it. I definitely smell the ambroxan from Sauvage in it, and it gives me that fucking, it gives us a pain right where my fucking pituitary gland is, you know? Like right at the top of your nose, but back a little bit. And it's like, what the fuck? What are they thinking, man? This is a brand that released Portrait of a Lady, The Night, Noir a Piece, Iris Poudre, and they've released this. It's outrageous. Like, I mean, I know, like, bollocks, man. It's awful. Spaced Out says, my wallet is celebrating tonight because almost every brand is going down the Gary Glitter. That's right. It's absolutely going down the shitter. See if you can smell the Naomi Good says, though. That's a good brand. Audrey Jane says, I'm going to smell it tomorrow. I can't believe the bubbles are fucked already. I'm going to smell it tomorrow in Selfridges. Also, any others I need to smell? I fucking... Oh... I don't know. Which Selfridges are you going to order, Jen? Burke says, why some sandalwood fragrances smell like pickles, by the way? It's got sandalwood, depending on the type, has this kind of greenness to it. It can have this, like certain types and certain ages, like it's the way it's... It can also be the way it's made, not made, extracted, can give different facets of very, very complicated note sandalwood. Bryce said, no, he said he'd been smelling on him for some years or some time. Yeah, and he has to buy it and then sell it. You know? Absolutely heinous, like. Spaced Out says, Burke, this is a green, sharp, unrealistic sandalwood. Paurosa. Feels like Guerlain tried to copy Santal 33. Goodness me. Lagandam says, good day, Rich and friends. Good day, Lagandam. Scent of the day is Cosmorati Italica. The bourbon, vanilla, and toffee are too sweet, in my opinion. Another hype frag, but Cosmorati Zherzhov do have outstanding fragrances. Not for me, Lagandam, but if you like it, you wear them. I think they're overpriced. I think it's nonsense. I think they just say that they're good and then charge a massive premium. And look at what, if you don't know what Veblen goods are, I would say Serge or the archetype of Veblen goods. Christoph, hello. Fragrance Journey, welcome. Pradeep says maybe it's reformulated. Maybe it's Maybelline. Welcome, Bagley, says Afonso. Lagandam says Ambrox and Cetalox is not exactly pleasant to my nose. It's absolutely hideous. Pradeep says it's Ambrosenide Cristal from Simrise where Roussel works. Maybe a financial favour. Well, I mean, he's chopped his own fucking balls off there, like, because it's an absolutely appalling release. You've got to smell it. I'll say one thing, though, right? I'll say one thing about it. It smells much nicer on a card than it does on me. But the amber wood comes out on me, something shocking. On the card, it's not quite so pronounced. This is awful. Antonio Hobson. Hey, everyone. Rich, sir. How are you? My Arwen Ladores came in today. Scent of the day, a Rose Jasmine. Congratulations. Lagandam says, absolutely, in-house perfumers are salesmen for these conglomerates. Yeah. Galen says, are you still raging about unpolished turd? I mean, Uncut Gem. Yes, I'll be raging for quite some time. Probably says, yes, probably, but they had 1,000 other ways to go about it instead. Yeah, could have made anything else and it would have been better. Anything else. Bob says, maybe the perfume blossoms off the skin late in the mid. No, it was shite at the top as well. It just wasn't as shite. It started off badly and then just got progressively worse. The industry is dead, period, says Empty Sense. Hi, Trevor. Love Navitus is here. You never know if you love that. Navitus, you might enjoy this. Hello, Rich and everyone. Hello, Indie Sense. Bry says, I think Santal Power says lovely spaced out, says Bry. Scent of the Day is Monsieur by Frederick Moore. When I got home at evening, my little niece said, you smell so good. She's 5, says Burke. That was nice of her. She must like patchouli and incense. Spaced Out says, Hermes is still doing good. I like Tour de Hermes au Givre. Maybe going to get a 50 mil. Love Navitus says, I like Paolo Rossa too. A to Z says, they must be surrounded by yes men. It's very possible. A to Z, why do you keep retracting your messages? You do it all the time. Lagandam says, true, Rich, but we can say that about so many other high-end brands that produce great fragrances every once in a while. E.g. Roja, Fragrance du Bois, Creed, and on and on and on. I don't agree with Roger, Fragrance du Bois, and Creed. I might be being a little bit facetious there. But it's been a while since any of them released anything great. You know? It's been a while since any of them released anything great. Eugene says, redo Freddie. He should do, Eugene. That's what Santal 33 wishes it was. It's like Girl On did that genre right and justice. Spaced Out says, Creed actually has good releases that were high quality in the past. But so does Frederick Moore. It's just what I was thinking, Eugene, says Bry. Want a fucking redo, says Bry. Not sure, Proddy, but I'd love some chicken biryani right about now. Quality went downhill for sure, but I still love the current Royal Oud. I've got the 120ml Royal Oud, and it's really nice, but they use this massive cedar note made by IFF. I can't remember what it's called, but it's exactly the same note that's in Ostend's Impression Cedar Wood Heart. You know, it's exactly the same note. Oh. Why has this happened to us? Micah says, afternoon all, sent of the day, Chanel Boy EDP. Drawn by Sense says, Rich, what's been your most enjoyable release of this year? God almighty. Could be Nerolia Vetova or the Calabrian Bergamot by Guerlain. I thought they were quite nice. Do I want to buy one? Oof. Not sure about that. You know? Do I want to buy one? Don't think so. Don't think so at all. You know? Don't tell me they sell biryani in Toronto too. Love those biryani street food vids. Is that long rice? Says Bob. Pradeep says, no incense, no sandalwood, no jasmine, no leather, no pine, fir, no other floral, no sheepra. Oh, them choices. Could have done anything. Anything. But they went for a shit Sauvage. You know? I'm smelling it off card now, right? I'm smelling Uncut Gem off the card now. And it's not nearly as offensive. I'll say, when I'm saying that it smells better on the card, I'm saying it smells better on the card. It doesn't smell good, right? It smells more like an MFK. It smells like it smells like it smells like that bland, white, musky, milky, slightly vanillic kind of just whiteness, you know? Pale and stale. It's what it smells like. Male, pale, and stale. On my skin, though, the amber wood stands out like a sore thumb, as does this harsh metallic ambroxan type thing. And it's so poor. It's such a letdown. You look forward to a Frederick Malle release. They don't release perfumes like 5-10 times a year. You know? They're not always releasing and then discontinuing stuff, you know? They had to do it with Dries Van Noten because he wanted to start his own line and wanted his name back. Fair enough. But I can't think of anything else that they've ever discontinued. I wouldn't be surprised. Do you know what it is, right? This could be a hit for Frederick Malle, but not with fans of Frederick Malle. This could be like a niche Sauvage, you know? So it could be to bring in other punters for Sauvage, It could be to bring in a new crowd, you know, a different market, a different clientele, a different demographic. But it will not be a hit with the base, with the Frederick Mall base, you know, the fan base. If you've been a fan of Frederick Mall for years, this will upset you. It's so boring. It's so poor. It's derivative. You've smelled it before. You'll smell it again. Do you want to pay them kinds of prices for this? No, is the answer. No, no, no. Read some comments. Val says, for me right now, perfume and aroma are consistent in quality, smell, price, and consistency in contrast to most brands like Amouage, Creed, and Frederick Mall. I like what I've got from perfume and aroma, and I like most of the stuff. There's some of the stuff I don't like, but you're going to get that with almost all houses. You know, I agree that they're good. The problem that perfume and aroma have got is that they are so linear. They are so straight line. What you smell after 10 seconds is what you smell after 10 hours. And they can't perform like that. They can perform like that. There is no development in those fragrances, though. Absolutely none. But ARSO is an absolutely fantastic fragrance. Their patchouli is a lovely patchouli, because of course it is, because they're an Italian house and the Italians do patchouli beautifully. I really like perfume and aroma, but I only own 2 of them. You know, there's a lot of them I can leave. A to Z says, Killer's video today is very good. That's true. It is a very good video. I enjoyed it greatly. Spaced Out says, I have to try patchouli. I did not like Aqua de Sal. Not a fan of the algae marine smell. I really like patchouli. It's very nice. Micah says, maybe they're trolling. That would just be the best. That would just be the best result for everybody concerned. If they just turned around and said, nah, not really. We're not actually releasing this. Here's an absolute banger instead, you know? And they just sent it out to wind me up. I would be happy to be the butt of that joke, and it'll be a fucking bad dream, and me getting laughed at by the entire world for being punked by Frederick Mall. Fair play. You know? I'd prefer that to this being an actual release. I'm afraid the truth is a lot darker. That this is indeed the new Frederick Mall fragrance. Hello, Natalia. Hello, Sean. Burke says, the disappointment of Rich was so genuine and intense in Uncut Gem review. I felt it. Yeah, I can't fake it. I can't fake positivity like I can't fake negativity. I don't mind being criticized for like shit that I can like stand by. You know? I don't mind, like, if people say, oh, like, I didn't like that you said this, I didn't like that you did this, I didn't like how you I don't know, anything. As long as I know that it was genuine, I can deal with that, I can take it, that's fine. I can't bullshit. Not like that. Not for fucking... I can't put that on. Some people can, and fucking fair play to them, you know? I can't. I genuinely hate this. I mean, hate's a strong word, but in this instance, it's true. I was livid. Ask Eugene. You can ask Eugene, Galen, Thomas. Foaming. I was. The messages I was sending them when I was walking out the store. I even said to the kid behind the counter, I was like, bloody hell. I was like, what is this? He was like, well, because he's not going to turn around and say it's shite, is he? Because he's fucking hell. You know? But, I mean, fuck, he didn't have to be fair. Bob says, Pradeep going to rethink his Blue Electric now. It's worse than Blue Electric. And that's shite now. Sorry if you like it, but fuck me. It's not a good fragrance, that. Val says, I'm not a fan of patchouli, but the patchouli is crazy strong and deep and intense. Yes. Perfume and aroma. Enrique says, is Uncut Gem the perfume that Maurice wears? Apparently so. Eugene says, scent of the day is leather oud. And they let the boys at work have a few sprays and it smelled god-awful on... I would have preferred to have been smelling that this week than fucking what I've had to put up with. Like, I put some on my skin, man. I feel contaminated. Product says, Superstitious is discontinued too. Rest in peace, Albert Albus. That's a shame. I'm still laughing at Rich going off on Uncut Gem. Epic video. Cheers, Anoush. Demacy Ghost perfumed it. He wouldn't. He's never put out anything quite as bad as that, like, apart from Sauvage. And the Flankers. Sauvage is better. Sauvage is better than this. And fucking Sauvage is an absolutely appalling perfume. It's better than this. God bless Rich Mitch, says Anoush. Thank you, Anoush. Paroli says, scent of the day is Giorgio Beverly Hills for Men VIP Special Reserve. That is a hell of a name. Crikey. How do you explain that to her? Like, if a girl comes up to you and she's like, oh, what are you wearing? And you're like, you take a massive deep breath and you're like, Giorgio Beverly Hills for Men VIP Special Reserve. And she's like, yeah, see you, bye. Perfume and rum, I have too many gourmand sweet scents for my taste. It's spaced out. Val says, yeah, the linear pot is a con for a lot of people, but I don't mind when I love it. Like you said, also an Amber Audio is breathtaking. I use them all the time. Excuse me. Woof. Yeah, also is brilliant. Amber Oreo, I'm still on the fence about buying a bottle of that. I'm thinking about it. It smells like orange labdanum. I get an orange note from it. Now, whether that actually just be the color or the fucking fruit, I don't know. But I do get like an orange note from it. I get reminded of orange. Breaking news, Frederick Mahl, Uncut Gem. Uncut Gem? Oh, poor Jim. He's uncut. Surpasses Dior Sauvage in sales. Burke says, also Orangier is a cool spring fragrance if you haven't tried it. Frank says, at work, scent of the day, Creed Himalaya, one of my favourite creeds. Outraged and Uncut Gem. Wait till you smell it, Matt. Everyone know where Himalaya was my signature scent for almost a decade, says Lagandam. I really like it, like. Is that Michael Jordan perfume any good? I don't think I've smelled it. Maybe all the smoke and messed up Roussel's nose. Fucking hell. People are laughing, Paroli and Galen. Something the day l'instant de Guerlain. EDP or EDT? Any concern that Uncut Gem was purchased off a shelf? Well, according to someone not a million miles away, that's exactly what happened. A to Z says, if it sells, it will encourage them to be even more bold, in inverted commas. Yes. That is the problem. That's the problem with the profit motive when you're dealing in stuff in the creative industries. the two things jar. You know, the two things do not necessarily fit together. I say not necessarily fit together. They go together like oil and water. They are two clean, different things. Rarely do you get a critically acclaimed film that people also want to go and see. You know, rarely does that happen. Rarely do you get a good perfume that everybody wants to buy. Rarely. Of all the perfumes that were ever made, what percentage do you think have been discontinued? It's an interesting thought experiment for you. Special Reserve sounds like you got enlisted for combat by Vladimir. Pradeep says, Mal said he and Roussel went through a lot of trials. He was testing it during COVID, so that long. Well, maybe he lost his bloody sense of smell. Maybe he caught COVID, lost his sense of smell, and then thought, yeah, sod it, we'll just do that. Did you see Cuba's first impression on Eugene's perfume? Yeah, I thought it was a really good video, actually. He's a good lad, Cuba. Doesn't pretend to be something he's not, which in fragrance community is a very novel concept. And he bought it as well. Didn't get sent it for free. Bought it. He's all right, Cuba. Where's Rudy? He can explain, says Phil. You must pick one, Rich. Uncut Gem or Rosendo Macho number 5. If I had a gun, an Uncut Gem and me, and Rosendo Macho number 5, I had to kill one of them, I'd turn the gun on myself. Paroli says, at this point, if Lesendam and Double release Amberwood Supreme, I'm finding a new hobby. I'd be very, very surprised if Lesendam Dabla, anyone involved in that project, had anything positive to say about this fragrance. Anything, if they were being truly honest. Pinewood is also good if you want something different and unique and very forestry. Who's that by? Pinewood? Is that by Perfume Roma? Much respect to Cuba. Says Eugene. Wasn't expecting that at all. Oh, it was a fucking it was poetic in its way. You know? He's got a bit of depth. He likes to fool around. Who doesn't? Not fool around like that. That's not what I'm saying. Just act silly, you know? Not wrong with that. Jesus. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom, friends. I know there's 56 people in here and I appreciate it. Give us a second. Christ. I have returned. Apologies, friends. Oh dear, let's lie down, shall we? Oh! See, people have been just dropping disgusting fruits in the fucking chat. Appalling behaviour. Holy shit, Rich is on absolute fire today. That's true. No gets is going like a bit of righteous indignation, like I must admit. Cuba no ball sprayed it. Someone check up on Rich every hour for the next couple of days. I'd make it every 15 minutes if I were you. Pinewood is a house, I believe. Ah, I see you're saying. No, it's an indie house, says Val. I see. York Skeezer. Cuba, no. Cuba does not pretend to be a what? Something he isn't. A retard. What Eugene has described him as. You're right, York Skeezer. Like, left a couple of comments on recent videos. Cuba knows. Brings the energy, says Phil. Yes, respect it to Cuba using his own dollars. By the way, rest in peace, euro. It's not just the euro, mate. The pound fucking plummeted today. Plummeted. Adam says, Cuba recommended Lacoste pour on Lacoste via video. It was a horrendous scent. No smoochies. Yeah, Ram did a video on the house. Well, the first impression says, Michael. Let's all coordinate. Let's all coordinate to send Rich Uncut Gem and mislabeled sample bottles. I'd smell it a mile away. When life gives you lemon, add amber woods to it. No, don't give anyone ideas, Brian. That's the type of shit that would sell. Richie now apologise to Shalimar. Certainly not. Don't like Shalimar. Don't like Shalimar, don't like the Leon. You ought to welcome the lemons this time, Rich. Cleanse your nose palate. No. 2 wrongs don't make a right. You ought to welcome. Roll the Jeopardy music, says Phil. Exquisite ball sprayers. Exquisite ball sprayers. Yeah. I think I'm still reeling from the fact that Frederick Maul's actually, like, it's actually Frederick Maul that's released that perfume. If Nautica released that perfume, you'd be appalled. You know? If Bulgari released that perfume, you'd be shocked. Jimmy Choo. That's the level it's on. Jimmy Choo. Nautica. That's where it's at. It's where the price point should be. It's where it should be on the shelves. It's vile. It's been on my skin for 8 hours now. Okay? And all I get is that fake smoky, dark, abrasive, tangy, metallic, brown sauce. You know, HP sauce, brown sauce. That's what Amber Wood's got going on. diabolical, like. How do you know, Prod? Correct, says Bob. He planted that bottle just for you. Not only that, but Maurice too. Shake my head, says Brian. I'm still waiting on it to arrive in the store here to go smell it. Jesus. If I love it, I will never return to these streams. Ooh. Ooh, high stakes. What Brian said, says Brian. Damn, I guess you won't be getting any free bottles from Frederick Mall now. I don't think Frederick Mall sends free bottles out, to be fair. Is Himalaya still worth purchasing now, says Val. I've been considering it, but I don't really trust Creed anymore after so many letdowns. I personally wouldn't go for any of the 100ml size bottles from Creed. I think the 100ml and the 50ml are just fucking washed. They're finished. I wonder if Uncut Gem was to be edgy, like using synthetic to name a perfume, says Eugene. Whatever it is that they were thinking, whatever the logic was, it was terrible. And it feels like Frederick Mall has... I don't want to make excuses for him because it's his name on the brand. He has to sign everything off if what you believe is true, if what is said is true. He's the creative director, right? He smelled it. He wanted it, right? He signed off on it. So, but it smells and it feels like he's been badly advised. It is so removed from everything else in the line. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, because if you want to make something different, then you want it to smell like that. You want it to smell like nothing else that you've got. You know, if you want to be creative, right, you can't just go over old ground over and over again like Guerlain do. You know? That's cheating. But there has to come a cut-off point where you think this is just poor. It's just not good enough. It's just a bad fragrance. It's a bad fragrance with bad ingredients, subpar ingredients, a lack of creativity, frankly, a lack of execution, because the dry down is an amber wood and nothing else. I'll tell you what it reminds us of in that way. Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. That's what it reminds us of. Reminds me of Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. Apart from Sultan Vetiver by Nishane is brilliant at the top and the mid. One of the best vetivers I've ever smelled at the top and the mid. But the base is just amber wood. It's cheating. It's not a real base. It's just one chemical. This smells like two. It smells like ambroxan, that metallic, tangy, radiation, battery on your tongue kind of smell, taste, and amberwood. And it's dire. And like I said in the video, it's the most aggravating factor is that it's come from Frederick Mall. If it came from Jimmy Choo, you'd just shrug and say, it's not worth 20 quid at discounters because you've smelled it before. Product says, apparently it has labdanum, nope. Leather, nope. Olibanum, nope. Vetiver, nope. Amber, yes. Musk, yes. And that's all it's got, amber and musk. Apparently Uncut Gem is to Pogba what is what Pogba is to Souness for Rich. Souness is getting himself in a bit of trouble. He's just a shock jock. And that's not a Scots joke. He's just becoming a shock jock for TalkSport now. He's a fucking joke, that fucker. He ruined Newcastle, ruined the best Newcastle team of the last 20 years when he took over from Bobby Robson, the shithouse. We were going for the Champions League when he signed. We were in relegation battle when he left. Prick. Brown sauce is awesome, says Andre Fins. It's not for me. I don't like it, but lots of people do. But to me, it's got that kind of smoky, tangy, amber wood kind of thing going on, you know? And Brian, I hope you really, really like it, says York Skeezer. Were you too harsh on the young FMSA? Absolutely not. Not his fault. He's got to sell it. Poor sod. If anything, I felt bad for him. Oh, God. I was not. I was nothing but lovely to him. He's a good lad, actually. Bryce says, if it's your skin and you're tripping, Rich, we shall be back with all the smoke. Fair enough. You know? But I stand by every word of it, like, because that's what I smell. I trust my own nose. There are a lot of people around today who don't trust their own eyes and ears and nose. They literally don't trust themselves. They delegate their perception of the world to the media. They delegate it to their favorite internet personality, conspiracy theorists, and fucking they want an expert to tell them what they feel about food, about art, about fucking taste, about fucking how to fucking wire a plug, you know? People don't trust themselves. I trust myself and back myself 100%. If I have to, I will die on this hill. Many Mitch. Hello, Stephs. How are you? I need to catch up with the... Damn, what's the smoke with York and Brian? I don't know. York's geezer's been leaving comments. Angry comments, I've seen. A few. Sound. It's always been sound, York's geezer. I'm not sure what's happened. Something's upset him. It's going to be cloned. Uncut crystal, polished gem, says Proddy. Fuck, it doesn't need to be cloned. Doesn't need to be cloned. You've smelled it 1,000 times before. You'll smell it 1,000 times again. It is every fragrance you've smelled since 2015, 2016. It's a fucking outrage. Current formulations of Himalaya are so disappointing compared to 2000, 2010. It had that lovely sandalwood note and it was fucking gorgeous. Brian says, has there been an objectively bad Frederick Mall before? Objectively, no. Subjectively, many, but they're subjectively bad perfumes all the time, you know what I mean? That was one of the points I made in the video today. I always respected what they made. I really did. I really, really did. Iris Poudre. Don't like it. Think it smells like an old woman. Beautifully made. Stunning ingredients. Fantastic at what it's trying to do. Vetiver extraordinaire. It's a vetiver. It smells like fucking vetiver, but it's extremely well made. It smells lovely. Portrait of a Lady. It's been bastardized a little bit with ISO-E Super, but it's still a fantastic fragrance. This is an objectively bad Frederick Mall. This is an objectively bad fragrance. Some people will like it. Those people don't know what to say to you. Well, I do know what to say to you, but I'm not going to. But Jesus Christ, how are you? Uncut equals back to basics. Too basic. Too basic. Not my opinion, Brian says. Right. Outrageous. Yeah, outrageous. I wasn't a fan of outrageous. I just didn't know if anybody... Sophia Grossman can't blend shit. Do you know, I've smelled a couple of things about her and I think you might be right. A lack of respect for the Briar, says A to Z. Goodbye. Brian says to product, don't like that either, but not sure if it's bad. I only dislike synthetic jungle, but I can't do green like that. Yeah, I feel the same way. I even said in the video today, synthetic jungle, don't like it, but I understand why other people do. I literally won't understand if it comes out and this becomes like, if you people who are listening to me now come back to me and say, this is good. Now, if you do like it, please do come back and say that, because it's your opinion. And you're more than entitled to say it. And you shouldn't be like, oh, I can't say that to Rich because he'll fucking call us a bell end and all sorts and fucking hang around outside my house, try and beat us up and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But I won't understand. I mean, I'll try. You can explain it to us. But I just how? Even on the card, man, it smells like fucking detergent, man. It smells like fucking shampoo. Fucking hell. On the skin, the amber wood comes out and it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, but yeah, this sounds like a departure. It is completely left field, like not even left field, man. It's like it's as if it's come from like the fourth dimension or something like that, you know, like you can't see it, like where it's come from. You know? God. Many Mitch wish death upon Uncut Gem. I mean, it is just a perfume, so I suppose I could. If you're not already watching, by the way, the goal Italy just scored is unreal, says Andre. What's the score? I don't doubt that they'll tuck up. That's what they always do. Let's do a lot of stock price created after Rich's video went live. It's no more than they deserve. Bariatrion says, Rich, I'm sure you lost the vet of our insolent decant I've sent you, but please do smell it. I think you'll appreciate it. I will have to try and dig them out, mate. I have got so many samples lying around that it's almost impossible to like locate any one particular fragrance at any time. Ryan says, did you slather brown sauce on your skin before applying Uncut Gem by any means? I mean, if it would have stopped the Uncut Gem reaching my skin, I wish I had. Hello, Alan Hansen, how are you? Maybe they want a bestseller, then bro sis, nothing other than posting Must Grab a poll on Instagram. They just, I've no doubt it'll do well with people who have got the most basic of tastes, you know? The easiest, the lowest. They want to smell good for people they don't know. So much for Frederick Miles, says Josie. Yep. It's kind of how I feel. I'm not looking forward to the next release now. It'll take a fucking Herculean effort to get themselves out of the shit they've put themselves in with this release. You know what they say? It like takes a lifetime to build trust, and it takes a second to destroy it. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like it feels like they've committed like a cardinal sin, like they've committed something that you can't come back from. You know, this will always be with me. Today, the experience I've had with this fragrance today will live with me forever. I will not forget today. That's what that video was today. I wanted to get that. I came home, was talking to Eugene on the way home, was talking to Galen and Thomas on the way home, telling them, and Eugene said to us in a message, he was like, I want this energy on the video. Like, this is the energy you need to put into the video. This is what, like, you need to, like, what you're saying now, what you're doing now needs to be what you say on the video. And I think I actually went even further on the video than what I was saying to Eugene in the messages. Like I say, I stand by every word. I don't want to try this again. I don't want to be wrong. Like I can't see how this fragrance could possibly change my mind from where it is at the minute. It's too far gone. It's too far. It's too much damage. Too much damage. Does not smell like an old woman. Iris Poudre does. York Skeezer says, I really like French Lover, Rich Mitch. French Lover, I'm a bit on the fence about French Lover. I don't think it's bad, but I don't want a bottle. Do you know what I mean? I mean, every other Frederick Malle fragrance has bumped up about 10 notches after today. You know, I think much higher of every single one of his other fragrances after today. Am I going to buy them all? No. But bloody hell. I do like Synthetic Jungle too. Well, I mean, nobody's perfect. On this topic, what is everyone's worst, most hated fragrance launch upon smelling it first time? Says Anush. Steph says, hello, Sir Mitch. Your words are facts. Thank you, Steph. Brian, you know what's also depressingly disappointing? The Dries Van Noten line. Yeah, I've heard that. I'm in no rush to smell those whatsoever. I had hopes it would be like Malle, but it's like Zara. Yeah, I've heard exactly that. It's completely underwhelming. Apparently, a new Celine came out today. Brother Bry told me so. A woody one. Well, I'd be interested to smell that. This has become group therapy for Rich, says A to Z. You're scaring me now. Are you sure it was macerated properly, says Bob. Yes. Yes, I'm sure it's completely fucking... completely, like, as it should be. It's just bad. Galen says, oh, yeah. Scent of the day is Aqua de Palma Note de Colonia 3. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Excellent pickup at discounter prices. Jealous. 1-0 to Italy. Of course it is. It always is. Frederick Malle had 2 price hikes this year as well. It's sad. Yeah. I'm going to try it out of respect for Malle, but maybe the first non-desert gem I won't get a full bottle of, says Brody. Mate, I recommend everybody try it. Try it and make your own mind up. Maybe you'll like it. And don't feel bad. Don't feel like you can't come back here and say, actually, Rich, I really like it. And I think you're wrong. That is fine. I will be happy for you that you enjoy it and you spent your money on it. But the fact that they want more for that than it's 420 USD. It's 420 US dollars. All right. I can't tell you what else you'll be able to buy with that. It's mortgage repayment, you know what I mean? Bloody hell. But if you like it, you buy it and be happy. Alan says, easiest of tastes and catering to the lowest common denominator. That's exactly what it is. Hello, Mr. Pleasant. How's England? I hope you are well. Today was rich as Pearl Harbor. It's fucking worse than that. It was a surprise attack, though. Mala Education says, is Xenia Javanese Patchouli ADT, a good beginner patchouli. I find Tom Ford Patchouli Absolute too butch. Frederick Moore Monsieur a bit too sober and formal. Yeah, the Javanese patchouli is really good. You could try Patchouli by Lorenzo Villarezi, or you could try Patchouli by Perfumum Roma. You could try Heritage by Guerlain. You can get them at really good prices. That's a good patchouli. Picked up Acro Smoke today from London. Yeah, that's quite good. I like ink. One day Rich will attack someone with a spoon in a nursing home and Uncut Gem will be the reason. Yeah, just find us wittering in the corner about fucking Uncut Gems and shit like that. Spaced Out says French Lover is top 10 fragrances ever made. So unique, says Spaced Out. I take it you've never smelled Royal Oud. Bariatrion says, I think it will be more popular than Eugene's night review. Ox shitting amberwood. Well, so far, according to the amount of comments that it's got, it's like I've got like 126 comments on that video, or 130 comments or something like that. Granted, I always reply, or I always try and reply, but so like almost half of them will be mine, you know, but it's a hell of a lot of engagement, friends. That's a hell of a lot. And thank you for everybody who likes and who subscribes and comments. I do appreciate it. You don't have to do that. Mr. Pleasant says, I got night as well. Smells like the night after the night before. Or the morning after the night before, says Mr. Pleasant. Have you got those fragrances I sent to you? Oh, you haven't been to Bristol yet, have you? Bryce says, that is correct. I've blind bought the new Celine Bois d'Ormont. Excited for it. Outrageous. Please cheer up. Go take a big toke of your Iquitos Mini. It's hard to cheer up, mate. I've had a fucking traumatic day. I want to see the Jerry Bruckheimer version of Rich smelling Uncut Gem for the first time. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Spaced Out. I fucking love French Lover, says Bry. Spaced Out. I wore it the other day and it really is fantastic, says Fosco. There's no doubt. Big Galban and Big Cedar. People love that fragrance. Right, excuse me whilst I take some medication. Oh, Jesus. Where are you? Repouring some hydration. Oh, where is my little medicine thing? There it is. Delightful. A rare treat. Oh. Bariatrion says, to be fair, Maurice Roussel has had many hits like Muscat Ravageur, La Ligue for Men. But also I've found some of his work being some of the most offending synthetic piece of shit cheaply like Bogart for Men. Yeah, he's done some stuff for Serge Lutens as well, you know. She was metallic, unhealthy as donut. Herb says, I definitely want to give Uncut Gem a go, but not every mall is a must-buy for me. Still want the Parfum de Tres, though. They're getting rid of some of the sizes of that. They're getting rid of the 30 and the 50 mil, so be careful, because it might be gone soon. Michael Harness says, well, have a great day weekend, everyone. I'm off to the big city of Dallas, Oregon. Till next time. See you later, Michael. Thanks, Rich. No problem, Mola Education. Brian says, fact, Barry Atrioni also did Nautica Voyage, if I'm correct, so that would not be surprising. Probably why it smells a bit like Nautica Voyage. Royal Oud smells nothing like French Lover to me. Spice and wood is similar to FM, if anything. No, I definitely get the galbanum cedar thing, definitely. My worst first reaction, Guerlain, Oud Essential, Rose and Queer, and Tobacco, says Eugene. I agree, not all malls are worth a bottle, says Yorkskis, and Monsieur's really good in the opening, but then turns into a shite. I struggle with Maurice Roussel's creations. He's fucking good. Like, he's quality. But again, someone made the point there that some of the stuff he comes out with is shit. You know? And it is what it is. It is what it is. I love how the Essential really plastically bitter and dark, says Spaced Out. Bob seconded regarding tobacco law. Barry Atron says you definitely need to wear a vintage Koros to bed to fix today's trauma. I don't want to associate. Somebody said that I should spray Balenciaga Pour On my pillow, but I don't want to associate it with today. I beg your pardon. Mr. Pleasant says the fragrances are at my mum's. We'll be at hers in 3 weeks doing hiking in the Scottish Highlands and Lake District first, not too far from me then. Probably live within about an hour and a half of the Lake District. Live near Newcastle. Maurice Roussel did Iris Silver Mist, which I do love. I love Iris Silver Mist. Yeah, it's a fantastic fragrance. Yeah, he did Iris Silver Mist for Serge. Can you imagine? Very strange. Iris Silver Mist's got this almost metallic sort of thing going on as well, but it keeps it just the right side of that, you know? Next Desert Gem de Maché for Frederick Moore. God almighty. He's not going anywhere near. Demaché's not going anywhere near Frederick Moore. He works for fucking LVMH. Marla's Estee Lauder. Perfume sniffing at airports is another pleasure loss, says Mr. Pleasant. It's all shite now. Yep. Enrique says, in your opinion, what are the most buys from Frederick Moore? I don't know that there are any must buys from Frederick Moore. Probably Portrait of a Lady. Geranium, Paul Monsieur. I'm struggling even with those. Frederick Moore for me. The thing is, I own a lot of fragrances by Frederick Moore. I must own like 7, 8, maybe 9. If you include the little 10 mil travel atomizers, I've got probably about 8 or 9, maybe 10. But I don't know that there are any like absolute stone cold classics from them that you have to have, you know, for any collection to be complete. The thing is that the floor of Frederick Moore is very high. So the base level of Frederick Moore's quality is very high. This has significantly reduced that. This fragrance reduces the brand of Frederick Malle considerably, in my opinion. It really is that bad. Rich will cause a water shortage. Trying to wash this off. That cause water shortages anyway with the amount I drink. Scottish Highlands hiking sounds fantastic. Mr. P in the clouds like William Wallace and Rob Roy. William Wallace. Bless him. Geranium, says Herb. Excuse me. Val says, are there any good sandalwoods that aren't butchered or reformulated to death? I like a good one in my collection. Speak to Anuj about trying to get a vintage Samsara. I don't know if he's got any vintage Samsaras left, but if he has, buy one. Even the ones in the red bottles, the old red bottles, are good. If you can get one in a clear bottle. Val, if you're in the UK, I could sell you my Eau de Toilette original version. If you're not in the UK, I can't. Your best bet, if you want a good sandalwood, is a vintage of something, you know. Brian says, Noir Peace is the most slept on mall, in my opinion. Yep. Can't argue with that. Very slept on. Very good. Roussel Donste Bois is one of the best mall, in my opinion, so I was looking forward to this. Bob says, I can listen to Scottish pipes all afternoon. Brian says, GOF Trump, a sandalwood cologne. It's egoist, but better. Ooh. I think it's egoist thicker. If you get egoist cologne concentrate, you will know you have been spoken to by a fragrance. That is phenomenal. It is beautiful. I also have a decant, a very, very, very small decant of Bois Noir, sent to me by a very nice man who I've dealt with many times before. Val says, I'm in Cyprus. Hard to get anything to a small island. Sadly, that's true. Not to worry. If you're ever in Britain, let us know. I'll send it to your hotel or wherever you're staying. Maurice Roussel looks like your local bush. Yes, that's right. He does look like he's a big man, isn't he? He's quite thick. Santal Messiah is an excellent sandalwood, but not my taste at all. It is. It's quite nice. Got a coconutty vibe. You can put as much as you want of that stuff on as well. I'll tell you another good sandalwood. Arsène Lupin Voyou. Arsène Lupin Voyou. That is a really nice sandalwood fragrance. Quiet, but it's really nice. Would you take Dior's Elixir over Uncut Gem? Yes. Totally random brand in France called PH Fragrances has a good sandalwood. Mr. Pleasant says, agree with you, Rich, about Acro chocolate. It's an accurate smell, but not wearable, really. Yeah, the thing is, it's a little bit too accurate. It's a little bit too good, isn't it? You know? Like, it's a tough sale because I imagine that those Acro, right, are they're the opposite of what everything's been released today. They are very abstract. They are very realistic to what he's going for, to the brief. Cresp has nailed it. The problem is I think the brief didn't take into account the fact that they need to sell to more than a few diehards. There are some people out there who will love those perfumes, right? I actually really liked nearly all of them. There was one or two that were a bit what, One of them smelled like pickles to me. And I didn't like it, but most of them I thought were great. The coffee one's really good, but the one I like the most is ink. But they're not going to sell to a big audience. It's a shame, but they're just not. Do you know Frederick Marr would? Do you know how Frederick Marr would pay the perfumers? I don't know, but I mean, Christ, I hope they kept the receipt. Space Stat says, Rich, don't hate me, but Lupin Voyeur reminds me of a generic designer. Dolce & Gabbana, the one. I don't hate you, don't worry. Dolce & Gabbana, the one, to be more specific, high quality, though. I think Lupin is one of those fragrances you can wear any place, any time, and it won't offend, and you'll smell quality, like you say. I don't know that it smells. I know what you're saying about generic. It does have that kind of everywhere, every person kind of smell. I just think it's a very high quality. I think we're basically agreeing. I like it for that. It's a little bit different from something than, say, like the one. It's obviously much better. But I love that. I love the ease of it. It's very easy perfume, you know. Requires no thought. Just close your eyes and enjoy it. You know. For years, Espèce Valou now. It's amazing, says Mr. Pleasant. Chocolate one smells like Amen done better, but it's too much to wear in public, says Val. Now you see, I love Amen. An Amen with that big tar note hits different for me. Lavender and the mint. I always get the mint in Amen, just a little bit though. I love Amen. I think it's one of the best male designer fragrances ever released. Bryce says, yep, Lupin Voyeur is a fantastic sandalwood. Also, Santal Palrosa for a modernized sandalwood. A lot of people don't like that, Bry. Palrosa. I don't think Eugene bought it. Herb says, do you think there's any chance Uncut Gem will grow on you? No. No. I can't stand amberwood. Product says, apparently it's Marlon Brando in a bottle. What is? What's Marlon Brando in a bottle? You not hear what I said about Marlon Brando the other day on one of my streams? What he did to that girl in Last Tango in Paris. I don't like Marlon Brando. Butter. Yeah, exactly. Fuck Marlon Brando. Bryce says Eugene loves it. It was in his 5 loves for the tag video. Are you sure? Maybe I'm thinking of the Ouds. York Skeezer says to Bry, Santal Palrosa is one of my favorite to buy list. Is one of my to buy list. Great unusual fragrance, but addictive if you spend enough time with it. I like doing that. I like spending time with fragrances, getting to know them and like seeing all the differences and picking them up, you know? Because unless you're a perfumer, it will take you time to like figure shit out. Unless it's complete shite like Uncut Gem. Palrosa is great. Sadly, the Ouds are not. Yeah, I've obviously got Palrosa mixed up with the Ouds. Did you try them girl Ouds? I didn't. Do you find Amen pure leather similar to the original Amen with leather added? Yes, that's the point of them, surely. They're all just Amen with a note added. They're like what flankers like that should be. They're all done very well. Oh, God. Oh, I'm starting to feel the effect of poison. Sorry for my poisonous ways. Oh, dear me. What the fuck was done to me today? Christ. Do you know what? I was expecting. Do you know what I was expecting when I saw the notes? Right? I was expecting something like Ganymede. Right? I was expecting something along those lines. I was expecting something that would. Yeah. I was expecting at least expecting a niche fragrance. Not an amalgamation of shit that has been floating around for the last 7-8 years. It's stolen a little bit from Kurdijan. It's stolen a little bit from Dior. It's stolen a little bit from Nordica. It just smells flat and dusty now. It was a shame. That's what it is. It's a shame. So that was sent to Eugene on the I said to Eugene today, I was like, what the hell did I say to him? Sorry, I've got distracted there. I lost my train of thought there, sorry. Oh, Joey Canali's streaming. Let's have a look what everyone's saying. Floral notes, welcome. Missed the discussion on Acro Smoke, says Smiley Town. I have a chance to buy a bottle cheap, but I haven't smelled it yet. Is it worth it? It's good quality. If you want to smell like someone who has smoked or is smoking a cigarette, then yes, but you must realize it is very, very realistic to what it claims to be, you know? So you've got to know that that's what you want before you buy it. Just know it's very well made, decent ingredients, decent performance, not world-class performance, but decent performance. But know that you will smell like a cigarette being smoked. If that's your thing, and let's be honest, for a lot of people, that is. You know, you might enjoy it. And if you do, good. I'm happy for you. Herb says, every day is a new day and a true gift. Quite. It's a good way to a good way to look at things. I also tried today again for like the 4th or 5th time on Skin, a Midnight Stroll by Gucci. If you know anything or you have any opinions on that, please let me know, because I am seriously considering making that my next purchase. It'll not be until like October or anything now, but I am seriously considering it. Ganymede, says Pradeep. I was expecting it to smell something along the lines of Ganymede or similar in vibe to Ganymede, metallic, with a twist, you know. Steph says, any thoughts on Eau Sauvage Fraîcheur Clear? Just recently got a bottle, not fresh leather. Any difference besides the name? It's meant to be a really difficult fragrance to get, that, so maybe you want to keep it. Not sure about it, though. I can't remember if I've smelled it. I don't think I have. Rich, what is your most anticlimactic tries where you were looking forward to smelling something and you don't like it? Mine was Baccarat Rouge 540. Couldn't stand it. Leave it with us. I'll try and think and remember. Oh, I've got an itchy face. Jesus, stop that. Lily, take me to confession, says Eugene. I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Pleasant. I got a fragrance earlier this week called Macassar. And when I first sprayed it on, I thought I had made a terrible mistake. And then literally within about 20 minutes, I was in love. So it can and does happen, you know? It can and does happen. Pretty quick turnaround, pretty hard turnaround as well. It was a complete 180. It was like Comme de Garçon combo, Mark Buxton and Michelle Amalek, says Brody. Tell me all your misdeeds and we can remedy them, says Lily. Have you tried Dior's Eau Sauvage Extreme? Yes, but I can't remember it. Manly Sense, how you doing? Too impure for the stream. Check your DM, says Eugene. Good Christ. Pull yourselves together. I lost my train of thought also after Lily's last post. What you say, says Bob? I don't know. Can't wait to see Eugene banging park benches asking for redo Freddy, says he Pradeep. I'd have to cleanse again, says Lily. Oh, God. Brian says, Acro Wake was my scent of the day. Smoke dry down is okay, but I can't deal with the open. It's pure ashtray. It's very tobacco-y. It's very, like, spent tobacco, isn't it? Like, smoked. Like, not, like, but, like used tobacco is what I'm saying. Jesus. Cheers, thanks, says Smiley Town. No problem. If you can get it for a good price, why not? I got the sample set and was very pleased that I did. Great little sample set. Good presentation. Good sense. Well made by one of the best perfumers possibly ever. Very, very different, though. Bryce is a fucking love a midnight stroll, like a forest in the night somewhere in Japan with a temple nearby burning incense. It is good. It is good. No doubt it is good. Do I want to spend that kind of money on it? Do I? I don't know. Maybe I do. The girl there has been extremely patient with us, to be fair to her. Maybe I'll get one next time they're doing 10% off. York Skeezer says, is that the incense Gucci, Rich? I will also try if you enjoy it. I enjoy it. Try it. See what you think. I asked Ramsey today, I was like, mate, if you could recommend some incense fragrances to me, what would they be? And I said, apart from Incense Extreme by Tower, because that is just too much. And he immediately came back with Incense Extreme by Tower. I was like, right. And he was like, a Midnight Stroll. And I was like, right. Also, Bois d'Encens by Armani, except that one doesn't last for shit. It really does have very, very poor performance. I'm making my father wear La Douleur Exquise this weekend, says Anush. If he doesn't like it, I'm putting him in an old folks home. Yes, that's right. Because he must be clearly mad if he doesn't like it. I seem to recall an Eldo fragrance called Jasmine et Cigarette. Yes, that's true. It wasn't too ashy, just a touch, says Herb. The problem with that is their first name, Jasmine. Cigarette, I don't smoke, but I could hack it. I could take it, you know? But Jasmine, can't hack it. I am weak. Just can't handle it. Bottles are different than decants, says Bob. Well said, Bob. Enrique says to Eugene, Monsieur or a midnight stroll? Ooh, that is harsh. Oh my God, Anuj, that is some serious shit, Lily. Not an easy to answer, Enrique. That is not easy. Anuj says, well, both very dark perfumes, says Eugene, and he's not wrong. I have a penchant for incense perfumes. Give me 3 or 4 incense perfumes to try, JJ, if you don't mind. Apart from Incense Extreme by Tower and A Midnight Stroll by Gucci. I'm looking for like a really good... I've got Rose Incense by Tower, which is really nice. I haven't worn that yet. I might wear that tomorrow, actually. Have you tried Mandala from Mask Milano, says Pradeep? Yes, I have, and I wasn't impressed. That's the amber one, isn't it? That's the amber one, isn't it? Stop that, Eugene. You know exactly what you're doing. Behave. The Leon is a pretty good... It is not a pretty good incense. I think he's coming around now. No one mentioned the you-know-what, says Bob. Your reaction to the new Frederick Malle release is my reaction with 90% of niche fragrances I have smelled. There's something wrong in niche perfumery at the minute. There is a serious dearth of creativity, and they're not even in the spirit of niche perfumery. You know, it's not. They're not even trying. It's commercial. It's very commercial perfume. Steph says, Fleischer Clear is the best eau sauvage I smell. I have not tried Glacon, though. Only one missing in my collection. It's quite good. Just get Aesop Wheel. It's a Midnight Stroll's younger brother, says Bright. You fucking love that brand. I've got brands like that. You know, like, I don't want to say obscure, but like much lesser known brands. I used to think Serge Tom was like that. Jesus. You can't be right all the time. I did actually like those fragrances. Just none of them enough. Oh, Amber is Tango, of course. That's right. You're right, Pradeep. Sorry. Mandala, I'd have to go back and smell it. Mate. Do they still make Monte Cristo? Is that still available? Because I liked Monte Cristo, but then I didn't want to buy it because it had exactly the same smoke note as Monodiorio's Queer, which is a tremendous perfume. It's one of the best leathers I own. Christ. And it's a crowded field as well. You know? It's a crowded field. Hello, everybody. Scent of the day is Davidoff Zeno. It reminds me of Musk Ravageur for some reason, says Omar. That's strange. I've never heard that before. No, you're right, Pradeep. Amber is Tango, and I wasn't impressed with Tango. Mandala is Incense. I don't remember it. Ever tried Chauvois La Liturgie de Huile? I've butchered that. Sorry to anybody even remotely French. Even if you live on a country bordering France. Sorry about that. Sort of a citrus incense thing, says Herb. A midnight stroll, Enrique, says bro. York Skeezer says, the Leon is bleh. It's not a great fragrance for me. Like, I agree. I really like the incense part of Le Leon. It was nostalgic for me. Shite, mate. Casper by Roger Piguet said to be one of the best incense perfumes. There is a bottle of that in my local department store, actually. Hello, all. Just watched your first impression video. The vitriol, so impressive, Rich, says Flower Girl. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. The Leon is a disgraced Shalimar, says York Skeezer. Unum loves Ritzia Le Grand Rêve d'Océan and Relique d'Amour, Robert Piguet Caspar, Goutal Encens Flamboyant. I might try that because I'm a fan of Goutal. Is that one of the older Goutals? Etro Messi de Minuit. I'm very interested in trying that because Etro is probably one of the most underrated houses completely. Never smelled a bad fragrance by them. There's a couple of them I don't like subjectively, but they're all really good fragrances, actually. And Kiko Mesheri Oleban. I may sell my 75ml partial of a Leon to raise cash because I still have a 200ml. Yeah, there was no point in buying both of those, was there? I should revisit my sample of La Liturgie de Huir. Sorry about that again. French. Anybody French, I apologize. Indeed, Encens Flamboyant is a bit older, 2007. I've got a few of the older Goutals from Anouge. Eau de Sud is one of the fucking best fragrances I've got. It's absolutely stunning. What a fragrance that is, by the way. Whoops. Rêve d'Océan is super nice. Aldehydic has this pink rosy touch. Same for me. York Skeezer Shalimar, better than Le Leon. Enrique says, yes, Monte Cristo's still available. Was just about to ask that one. Is it a good tobacco perfume? Yeah, but there are better. There are better, mate. For me, there are much better tobacco fragrances than that. Coromandel EDT is the best modern Chanel, in my opinion, says DMO. JJ says, indeed, Encens Flamboyant is 2007. My LPU was Chanel 31 Rue Cambon, probably my favorite Chanel now. Lots of people have been saying that recently. Peter is here. Welcome, Peter. Hi, Nightmare Stream. Hello, Hub Zero. How are you? Mitch, would you choose Queer Canage or Queer Moresque? Ooh. Queer Moresque seems way more butch, but really similar. Bloody hell. I would disagree. I would say it was the other way around. I think the iris in Queer Canage makes it more unisex, if not more feminine. It is Dior's answer to Queer de Russie, I think. And I'll never forget what I heard Jacob once say. And he was talking about the historical context of leather perfumes. And he was talking about the times when Queer de Russie had been released. And he said that at the time, it really should have been called Leather for Women. And for some reason, that has always stuck in my head. And I've always understood exactly what he meant. And I thought it was a really good description. Obviously, I go along with the fact that you can just wear whatever you want. Bollocks, it's fragrance. You just wear it. It's intangible, you know? You just wear what you like. But 100 years ago, it wasn't like that. And leather fragrances were definitely for men and not for women. But she created a fragrance. Queer de Russie that was really leather for women. But anyway, Queer Canage, I think, is Dior's I want to be very kind and call it a pastiche. All right, and that iris note in that makes it more feminine than Queer-Moresque. Queer-Moresque for me is a very traditionally masculine, warm, spicy, masculine leather. It smells a bit like Nisa 10. So I suppose if I had to choose between the pair of them, I'd probably go Queer-Moresque. But I really like Queer Canage. I think Queer Canage is a very easy fragrance to wear. Is Tango good? Is Tango good from Mask Milano? Interested in trying a few from the house, which are good. I have Russian tea. I've got Russian tea as well. It's fantastic. Hub Zero says, lol, just saw the Uncut Gem video. Lol, indeed. Cheap Imitation just posted an Uncut Gem review. Yeah, he had the first video on YouTube about it, actually. And fair play. JJ says, oh, the soda is brilliant. It really is. I love the lime. I love the lime. You say the basil as well, and then the oak moss in the base. It's just got this kind of fucking outrageous, like, truly, it's almost Italian because of the lime and the oak moss. It's got that kind of like masculine, vintage masculine kind of smell to it. Hub says, God bless you, Richard. Well, thank you, Hub Zero. Eugene says, Queer Canage is overrated. What on earth? Truck puncture sounds, says Brody. The Leon hate is siphoning off the toxicity, says Bob. JJ says 31 Rue Cambon is a favourite of mine as well. I still have yet to sample. All from Les exclusives. Next in line for sampling is number 18. Oh, there, Eugene, says Bry. That's right. Bry, cover your ears. I don't see almost any similarities between Queer Canage and Queer de Russie personally. So, how can I expand on it? I don't know. Maybe it's just the vibe rather than the smell. I'd have to go back and smell them all. It's hard to bring them to. It's like hard to bring them forth in your mind, isn't it? You know what I mean? When you've smelled so much stuff, and I've just been absolutely blown out of the water by that mall today. Like everything is wrong at the minute, you know. Bright colour scent of the evening, probably Queer de Russie now, says Lily. Queer Canage is beautiful. I think Queer Canage is really nice, actually. I just think Queer-Moresque is more my style. In fact, I'm going to wear Queer Canage soon. It's meant to be getting colder the next few days, so it's the type of fragrance you can just like, you can just cake yourself in, you know. Have almost the full Chanel line now, but they are in Mexico. A bummer, says Omar. Damn. Product says, I can't stand Knisa 10. Current bottle smells cheap like rice and soy sauce. I'd have to go and smell me Knisa 10. Now my mind stopped working, like the poison's starting to work on us. Omar says, pretty curious about Goutal, actually. Just in no buying mode now. The wish list is becoming large. Jesus, the wish list on my Fragrantica, which I stopped adding to years ago, is about 500 strong. I really need to go through it and just like chop, because there's lots of those fragrances I really don't want to try anymore, you know? Give us 2 minutes. I'm going to the bathroom. Oh, gosh. Christ almighty, I feel like crap. Not to worry. Oh. Let's have a look. What are we saying here? Pradeep Sikar. Oh. A to Z says to Pradeep, someone online has smelled a recreation of Knisa 10 using the original formula and the modern version as a pale imitation. I'd be surprised if you could still get the materials for the original formula. I don't know if anybody's seen, but Dimitri, there's a guy called Dimitri who's just started a channel, and he has a vintage bottle. I don't think it's 1920s, but it's certainly it's got age, this bottle, definitely. And yeah, I'd love to smell that. It's beautiful. Looks beautiful, the bottle. I know Ramsey's just bought an absolute madness. It's not Knisa 10, but he's bought, so I don't want to spoil the surprise because he'll be doing an unboxing on his channel. But it's a crazy fragrance, something he's bought. It's a very popular fragrance, very famous. But it's a 1950s version of this fragrance. And it's going to be, I mean, I just can't wait to see that video. It is rewarding to shorten to try lists and want lists, says JJ. Yes, I imagine it feels like basically like going for a massive turd. You know what I mean? Just getting rid of that shit. Do you know what I mean? York Skeezer says, good night, Rich in the chat. Good night, York Skeezer. Sleep tight. JJ says, I am sure the original formulation of Knisa 10 wouldn't pass guidelines for commercial sale. Yeah, I imagine there's all sorts of madness in there. A to Z says, JJ, there's a shop in Paris where you can smell original versions of all classics. Is that not the Osmotech? JJ says, Nita, I'd be delighted to visit. One day I will be in Paris to explore. The thing is, you'd have to book like a month or two. Do you know what I mean? Just to tick everything off the list. I want to go to the Serge Lutens Purple Palace, as I like to call it. You know, where it's like off the beaten track. Like you've got to really, really try to find it. And on the outside, you wouldn't think it was a Serge Lutens. It hasn't got like loads of mad fucking, what's it called? Advertising and signage and stuff. Like they make it very hard to find. But apparently when you go inside, it's just this cavernous velvet purple room. And it's very dark. I love that shit. I would desperately be trying to get upstairs into their old vaults and stuff, though, trying to get the old bottles of shit out. I wouldn't be buying that new stuff. Just the new aesthetic just is deeply upsetting when you've been used to the old one. Pradeep, how far a girl on a 31 Rue Cambon from each other in your town? Walking distance, I'm assuming, says Pradeep. Hello, Jack Dean. How are you? It's been a while since I've seen you here, Jack. How are you? Have you been busy? It is always nice to see Jack. A rare treat. And on a Friday. I'm not going to be on for much longer, though. Sorry about that, Jack. But I am becoming very tired because I am weak in my old age. Don't get old. It's a trap. JJ says, I'd love to visit the Purple Palace. Indeed. Been a fan of Serge Lutens for ages. Yes. The top 3 Serge, go. Top 3 Serge, no. That is too hard, Fosco. You can't just spring that on someone. You give us a heart attack. Amber Sultan's probably top. It's almost certainly top. Fila Nagil, Santal, Majuscule. Galen talks shite. You can't go. I just got you. 2 hours begins now. Shut up, bitch. Galen, you know I've had a stressful day, a long and stressful and upsetting day. Yes, at Place Vendôme, says Pradeep. The girl on Champs-Elysees boutique is father, though. JJ says, like picking children, yes. Fosco says, Sarah Sands. To be fair to Fosco, he asked the question and he's answered it, so you shouldn't ask anybody to do anything that you wouldn't do yourself, and he's stuck his neck out here. So let's see. Sarah Sands. I actually like Sarah Sands. I got a decant, a sample from Persiles, and it's a jasmine that I like. Would you believe? It's a bit like Iquitos. I got an Iquitos vibe from it. Santal du Maiso and Lemire. Galen fucking loves Lemire. Do you remember? I'm sure he wore that for a month or something silly like that. Or he wore Serge Lutens for a month, and I think that's the one he wore the most. I distinctly remember talking to Galen about Lemire about a year ago. JJ says, Fiona Nagil, Sarah Sands, again. And Lemire. The both of you picked Lemire and Saracens. Galen says Lemire is perfect. Yes. I know he thinks that. Does Serge Gainsborough count, Fosco? No. Champs is the flagship, says Bob. Serge Gainsborough. Bariatrion says Shergi, Ambra Sultan, and Fila Nagil. I nearly said Shergi as well. Shergi is a tremendous fragrance, really. If you just take Shergi out, try and forget everything that's been said about it during the entire time that you've been on like fragrance internet, right? Just try and put all of that to one side, and then smell it as if you're smelling it for the first time. And if it helps, smell it against everything else you've got in your collection. There's nothing like it. It's insane. It's Christopher Sheldrake, and he's absolute pomp. That is a man who has not run out of inspiration, especially not when you look at the Serge Lutens collection. Some are better than others. Some are more than others. You know, some of them are more special than others, but they are all very, very well made and very creative. If you look at the house as an overall thing from what Sheldrake's made from them, is there a better back catalogue? Is there a better back catalogue? Especially for a house with that many fragrances. Really? Think about it. I've been thinking about this for a while. Like, is Serge Lutens the best niche house ever? Hell of a fucking question. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, you could have put Frederick Malle in there, but I'm not overstating it when I say today is kind of like, it's not like he's made something I don't like. He's made something that's like offended us. Like, I'm offended by what Uncut Gem is. It's a nothing perfume. God almighty. All right, homie's got a jet. Peace out. See you later, JJ. Cheers. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Bariatrion says, yes, Sheldrake has been tremendous. Certainly has. Did I hear Serge Gainsbourg? That was Manly Sense who said that. Most cultured. My, what cultured friends. Love Sheldrake, says Rachel. Best niche house ever, in my opinion, yes. Do you know what it is, right? Can't think of a better one. So it's at least tied for first. Like, seriously, some of the stuff they've made, they've done. The thing is, right, is that I was going to say they've done everything, but they haven't done everything. Like, they haven't made an Uncut Gem. They haven't made a Sauvage. They haven't made a Bleu de Chanel. You know, it's very classic French perfume in a lot of ways. And then in some other ways, it's completely different. It's like somebody, like Sheldrake's fucking genius, like, he's a perfume genius. If he'd made that, God almighty, it doesn't mean bad thinking about it. If he'd made that Uncut Gem, he wouldn't, though. You know, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do that. Surely he wouldn't do that to us. But, like, if he made that, that's probably one of the only things that could make us think less of him. Damn, Richie slammed Uncut Gem, says Rachel. Oh, fuck it, honestly, all I had to do was tell the truth. It was very easy. It was very easy to do. One of the easiest videos I've ever done. Just sit and tell the truth. Just, what the fuck? Hello, Vic, how are you? Fosco says, very important historically as well, changed the landscape. Yeah, I imagine Serge Lutens was like the perfumer's perfume. You know, if you were a perfumer and you smelled Serge Lutens, you would think, ah, yes. Like, I imagine a lot of other perfumers have thought to themselves about at least one Serge Lutens fragrance that they wished they had made that. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. But I mean, the amount of perfumers there is now, I'm sure there are some of them out there who think it's fun. Like, none of them are good, but they would be wrong. They would be wrong. Very important historically as well. Change the landscape. Yeah, that's right. Mentioned Gainsbourg as a joke. Didn't mean to hijack his manly sense. I like chanson français in general, says Rachel. I've layered Girl on Homme and Prada Infusion Dom mix. It's hot in LA. I smell like lime soap, says Steph. Do you like to layer, Steph's? It's not for me, Lara. I prefer to experience a fragrance as it was made. Try and figure it out by itself. Putting stuff on top of other stuff, it doesn't. I feel as though I feel as though I've done something wrong. I would like, if I put one perfume on top of another, because I thought I'd done that. Oh my God. I thought I'd done that today with Uncut Gem. I was like, I must have sprayed something else on my hand before I put this on. I haven't. I just fucking for a second, I was like, oh my God. Like, have I put something else on here underneath? Sergey clone Corgi by Dua. I fucking Jesus. You can get Sergey cheap enough anyway. Mark Stevens says they do unorthodox things very tastefully. Yes, you're right, Mark. And welcome to you. I haven't seen you before, I don't think. They do unorthodox things very tastefully. Their ideas are out there, but their execution is very, very traditional, which is probably the best way, you know. Innovation done in a tried and tested way. Shaggy is still available, says Bella Essence. Yeah, I'd love Shaggy. Just hoover that shit up when I find it in the smaller bottles. Serge Lutens is my favourite house, says Spaced Out. Almost every release is unique and odd. I have to prepare myself to wear MKK for the first time. I don't like MKK. I do not like Maison Francis Caron. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? I don't like Muscoglycon. It comes out like the shit note comes out on it. It really does smell like poo. Like poo that's been sitting in a drain for a while, you know? It's not good. Do not recommend. Maurice Roussel is definitely a genius, says Rachel, in my opinion. He did make Iris Silver Mist, give you that. 24 Faubourg, I'll give you that. I don't like 24 Faubourg, but I will give you that. It's a very good perfume. And D'Entrée Bois, etc., etc. But from what I know, he loves making perfumes of all kinds and will take on all kinds of briefs. So perhaps the problem lies with what his clients wanted. That's exactly what happened. Apparently, Frederick Moore smelled this perfume on him and said, "Oh, I want that." And they tinkered with it a little bit. And then Frederick Moore said, "Sell, sell, sell," and released this pile of shit. Steaming heap of perfumed dung. Atrocious release. Bella Senses. How about Cremeresque? Love it. Fosco says, no doubt, Rachel. I feel like perfumers love aroma chemicals more than critics. Manly Sense says, my toilet bowl appreciates Dura, it would seem. Steph says, I really don't like layering, Mitch. I agree, but I was getting bored and felt like I experimented there. Knock yourself out. Do what you want. They're your perfumes. You paid for them. You do whatever you want. You could juggle with them if you wanted to. You know? Fosco, that's a good point too, says Rachel. I can't trust my nose. Is Queer Canage a little camphorous, says Lily. Not for me. Could be the orange blossom. Could be getting that sort of vibe from the orange blossom, like this kind of mentholated. I get quite a syrupy vibe from it, but you imagine if like syrup had been left out and then like hardened and went like fucking went out by it went hard and like turned a little bit resinous. Fosco says, I haven't smelled Uncut Gem, but from what I heard, it's something he personally wears or similar. Yeah, that's what it was. Maurice Roussel wore that perfume, and Frederick Moore smelled it on him and said, I want to release that as a perfume, sort of in the same way that he did with Parfum de Thérèse. Except that worked and this didn't. That was Edmund Rudnitska. Oh, Edouard Rudnitska. I see what you've said there, Audrey Jane. Me and you are going to have a fight. And Maurice Roussel isn't Rudnitska. Rudnitska the Elder. Oh, why have they done this? It's genuinely fucked me day. You know? There's going to be like a 5-second window when I first open my eyes tomorrow morning where I forgot all about this. And then it's going to come fucking screaming back to us like what I imagine the last few seconds of your life is before you get hit by a fucking train. You know? Jesus. Yeah, I got the syrup and mentholatedness. It made my mouth tingle, says Lily. I love Bogart I love Bogart Pour On by Maurice Roussel. Is it Bogart Pour On or Signature Pour? I think it's Pour On. It comes in the big rectangular bottle. I quite like that. Oh no, I hate Bogart. Poor Rom says Bariatrion. It does quite a lot for a £10 fragrance. It does a lot of fucking moving around. Would Quentin Biche be a good fit for Dior? No. No, and I say that with authority because I actually think Julian Rasconnay would be a really good fit for Dior. If they banned him from using amber wood, which they wouldn't because they think they could make a fucking fortune through it. He would anyway. Bastard uses it in fucking everything. Loads of things of his have got fucking amber wood in. Oh no, I hate Bogart. Poor Rom says Bariatrion. I think you said that earlier, didn't you? What if MFK released Uncut Gem? MFK wouldn't leave the base that way. MFK wouldn't leave the fragrance to run out and then just be left with. So imagine like the fragrance had a top and a mid for about an hour, and then it was all it was. The base was literally just amber wood and nothing else, and ambroxan. Sorry. All right. And Francis Kurkdjian wouldn't leave it like that. Everything he does, whether you love it or hate it, smells finished. This doesn't. This smells half cocked, half cooked, half baked, half made. It smells of poor quality. It smells unfinished. It smells like they've rushed it out. It smells like they've had a very small budget. Audrey says, scent of the day vintage number 5 for the first day of autumn in the UK. No, you are wrong. The famous Audrey Jane, says Rachel. The famous Rachel. I don't think they tinkered with Therese. I'm not saying that they tinkered with Therese. What I'm saying is that Rudnitska, the difference is Rudnitska made a very good perfume that they decided to release, like a personal perfume that they decided to release to the public. And Maurice Roussel and Frederic Malle have released a very bad personal fragrance to release to the public. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant anyway. Manly Sense says, scent of the day, Borsalino from a miniature, courtesy of Anouge. I've got a bottle of that for sale on eBay. Shite. It's not shite. I've said shite. It's not shite. It's not even close to being shite, man. What the fuck? I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not. It's not for me. Rich, do you want Globe by Rochas? No, I don't, but I am very interested in all things Rochas at the minute. Apart from that one that looks like a fucking butt plug. Fuck that. I struggle with Gucci Guilty Oud. Some days, and others. Blah, blah, blah. I struggle with Gucci Guilty Oud. I like some days and not others. Thoughts, duck god. Duck god. Gucci Guilty Oud. So Gucci Intense Oud I had and gave away to Richie G. That had amber wood in the base as well. Fucking begin to see a pattern forming. Gucci Guilty Oud, I don't know. I know Gucci Guilty Absolute, which I absolutely love, and I'll be wearing soon. But Gucci Guilty Oud, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I've smelled it. Or if I have, I can't remember it. Adam D says, sometimes, Rich, you got to let it go and chew on the disappointment. There are more shambolic, mediocre stuff in other brands. Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. I haven't bought this perfume blind, so it's not as if I've bought it and thought, fucking hell, I've been ripped off there. No, I haven't bought it, so I'm not like in grief. I'm in grief for like the idea of Frederic Malle. And the fact that Frederic Malle have released this fragrance is just unfathomable. But no, you're right. It'll just take a little bit of processing, let it go, get over it, and just fucking try not to let perfume ruin me day again. Flower Girl Base says, yeah, but they tinkered with Uncut Gem. It isn't exactly what his personal fragrance smells like. I mean, if they've added amberwood to that fragrance, they haven't tinkered with it. They've completely changed it, because that is the dominant note. That and ambroxan and some very low quality top, which just smells of absolutely nothing. And it's easily the best part of the fragrance. The base is just 2 notes, with one of those notes utterly dominating, and that's the amberwood. Imagine ambroxan not dominating, but it's like that metallic note. Ambroxan, that's what I mean. Doesn't smell like ambergris at all. What it smells like is fucking a headache. What it smells like is if Budweiser brought out a perfume, it would smell like that. If Budweiser brought out a perfume to smell like Budweiser, that's what it would smell like. Fucking shit. Jesus. Globe is amazing, says Bella. Frederick Marl is now in the hands of the Estee Lauder group, that's right. Fosco says, a little Rochas Homme, another by the man of the day, Monsieur Roussel. He's causing havoc, isn't he? Monsieur Roussel. Ariadron says, I'm scared of wearing Gucci Guilty Absolute after my wife's latest offending comments. Oh, just wear it when she's not around. She'll probably still be able to smell it, you know. She might be in the next town over, but probably still be able to smell it on you. But at least you won't be able to hear her whinging about it. Scent of the day, Carnival Tribute, hello. Scent of the day, Santal Royale, Vulgar. Are you not a fan? Yeah, I would say they probably did completely change it with his personal fragrance as the starting point, says Flower Girl B. That's a good point. Could have done. Mark Stevens says, can't imagine what it's like to be a perfumer from an era where you were classically trained and now you have to put out this screechy stuff out. If they're being paid, I imagine they don't have any like hard feelings. If you've read the book, the Ghost Perfumer, Pierre Bourdon, it says it's just business. You know, that's just how business is. And that's maybe how a lot of them feel. And you're talking about Pierre Bourdon there, who's created some of the best and most innovative perfumes that there are and ever have been, and is responsible for untold other fragrances that he's influenced over the years, whether it be through his own creations or his teachings. And he says, look, it's just fucking business when shit like this happens. So I imagine there's a lot of perfumers who just think to themselves, fuck it, I'll like, if there were a chef and you asked for fucking kippers with your custard, you know, who are you to say no? If they're paying for it, fucking give them what they want. That's the problem where art and materialism, art and commerce grind on each other. They do not get on. They're not natural bedfellows. They sort of like have this symbiotic relationship that neither of them want to have because they feel like the other is dragging on them. Bella Senses have the same awful feeling about H24. Yeah. Frederick Marler suave. If the public dislike it and the perfume tanks and sales, surely they have to do a plan B. Budweiser is not a king of anything. It's a king of headaches. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like headache. Fosco says, has anyone ever tried anything from Rubini? Not me, unfortunately. 2022 was a very mediocre year for the perfume releases, says Vic, and he's not wrong. He is not wrong. Someone asked us to name my favorite releases from 2022, and I was like, what? Like inside my head, I was going, think. And I struggled. Hermes is saving 2022, says Space Out. We'll see about that. It's not over yet. But anyway, I'm going now because I'm extremely tired and the poison has taken effect and I feel minging. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you to everybody who has liked the stream and commented in the stream, and I'm glad you all got a kick out of the review. Well, the first impressions of Uncut Gem, which was just so bad. But yes, thank you everybody. I appreciate it. I will see you all again soon. Bye.